No.
Whiskers sends thanks to the following Twitch subscribers and YouTube members.
Well, no, it's not going to completely change how you play Oxygen Not Included, but it does have a few very interesting cosmetics that are for buildings and features that you wouldn't normally have cosmetics for. And considering it's a very cheap DLC, and if you get the DLC bundle where it includes all the others that you might already have, it's very cheap. So it really depends on whether you're playing this game for hundreds of hours and you're going to be looking at all of the buildings that are included in this DLC, whether you want to actually snazz them up or not. So we're just going to go through everything that's in the DLC quickly, and then you can make your mind up about whether it's worth purchasing for yourself. So we've got some shirts, we've got some trousers, we've got a normal set of clothes from the dupes, but I don't think these really matter. I'm always a little bit underwhelmed by the clothing blueprints for the duplicants, because they're often wearing snazzy suits or primo garb towards the end of the game anyways. So they shouldn't be wearing these outfits most of the time. I really wish that Clay would add an Emperor's New Clothes primo garb that lets you just show off the normal outfits your duplicants have, perhaps just with like a sparkly effect or something. I'd really like to see that. But there's Atmos suits. We have this sort of Valkyrie aesthetic with the Neutronium texture. Looks very snazzy. This is something that you will see used fairly often, so could be worthwhile. But again, there's lots of good Atmos suit blueprints already in the game. There's a new jet suit blueprint, which is relevant because they recently buffed jet suits, so apparently they're not actually worth using. We'll have to test that for ourselves, but it does look very snazzy. It does obviously go very well with the Atmos suit blueprint, and it has a very nice belt buckle as well. We have the buildings, which are the meat of the DLC. So we have this ceiling trim. This looks very nice, and the default ceiling trim is cream. So if you want a dark sort of themed ceiling trim, this is right up your alley. We have a pedestal, but to be honest, there's a lot of pedestals in the game, so I don't think too much of this. We have the printing pods. Again, you have a few other options for printing pods, but they're all tied to different DLCs. It does look quite nice, but this is not going to convince me to buy and actually pay real money for this. There's a storage bin. One thing to know about this storage bin, the shape is slightly different than normal. It's got this little flap at the bottom or something. And with an outside this extravagant, who cares what's inside? I think it's quite neat. The refrigerator looks fairly standard, but I don't tend to build a lot of refrigerators, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm not too fussed about this. The industrial buildings are the ones I'm most impressed by. You have the oxygen diffuser for early game. You have your water pump. I love the gold handle on this and the sort of roundness to it. Got the carbon skimmer. I think the purpley black Neutronium color and the gold accents are a really good combo for cosmetics. It's all very aesthetically pleasing. And again, this is a building that you don't normally have a cosmetic for, so it's nice to be able to spruce it up. Again, the electrolyzer looks quite nice here. Big fan of the gold trim on these tanks. You have the skill scrubber. You don't always end up building a skill scrubber, but it looks quite similar to the regular one in terms of the actual design. It looks quite sort of bashed together. Not a huge fan of this. We've got the water sieve. This water sieve looks really good. I love the gold trim on the little tanks. I think this is very nice. And then the metal refinery. There's loads of good blueprints for metal refineries in the game already, but this one has a very nice looking receptacle at the top. You got the nice little handle here. I think this is one of the better looking metal refineries. With the liquid tepodizer, this looks very nice, especially with how the gold accents the bronze of the tepodizer. I think it looks very good. The copper. And then we also actually have a thermo aqua tuner, so this is great. Thermo aqua tuners are very important. They recently updated them as well so that the liquid actually shows up as the color of the liquid in the thermo aqua tuner, so these are going to look very good now with the DLC and with the update. We also have a grooming station with a mirror. I don't believe this mirror actually works, but it still looks very good. It looks distinct from the other grooming stations. I like having lots of options for grooming stations because it allows you to make all of your ranches feel different from each other. So I'm a big fan of this. And then we have the manual generator. There are some good manual generators in the Bionic Booster Pack DLC, but this is a good alternative as well. Nice little gym for your duplicants. I still think they need to add a gym room type to the game, where if you have a load of manual generators and nothing else, then the dupes get increased attribute leveling. That's what I'd like to see. Then we have the coal generator. I think the purple and gold color scheme looks really good with how it's laid out on the coal generator, and you build a lot of these in the early game, so I think that's very nice. And then late game, you have the steam turbine, because obviously you're building steam turbines everywhere. This is oxygen not included. Go watch the other videos and find out more about steam turbines. I think this looks very good. This is one of the best looking blueprints, and one of the most needed, because you'll often have a load of steam turbines in a row. And it's nice that you can spruce up that sort of environment now, especially because your dupes are going to be coming in here and tuning them. They get to look at the nice, pretty steam turbines now. So I'm very happy with this. The wallpaper is very nice as well. We've used this in our run so far. It looks very nice when it's spread out over a large area. One of the better ones, but obviously you don't need to pay real money for wallpapers. There's plenty of good wallpapers in the game. And there's no artworks and joy responses either. So, yeah. Overall, my thoughts on the DLC. Obviously, you don't need to buy it. But if you've been playing Oxygen Not Included for hundreds of hours anyways, it's not really going to go that wrong. You are probably going to enjoy seeing some of your industrial buildings look a little bit different than usual, and Clay will make good use of the money. Don't worry about that. It's very cheap. I hope that we don't get just loads and loads of cosmetic DLCs that don't have a lot of effort put into them, but I think this is sort of the right direction for these little cosmetic DLCs to go. Cheap, with cosmetics for items that don't normally have cosmetics. I think that's very nice and appreciated for the kind of people who are actually going to be spending money on these. So that's it, really. But there is one more thing in the DLC. There is a new duplicant, Senna. And Senna is a fairly regular duplicant, but technically this does have a gameplay impact on the game, because as she's a random option that can appear in a printing pod, you're less likely to find destructive duplicants in there, because she's not a destructive one. So that may have a slightly tangible improvement effect to your game. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. I just thought I'd talk about this DLC quickly. It's interesting that Clay are changing their strategy on cosmetics now. Obviously, there's loads of cosmetics in the game that you can unlock just by playing the game. You'll get your filaments, you'll get your blueprints, you can recycle them for filament and get all the cosmetics you want. They've increased the rate at which you get filaments, so now you can actually get a lot of the cosmetics in the game. I've ended up unlocking most of the ones I want now, so that's nice. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Clay's cosmetic monetization continues to evolve with the new DLCs. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.